Today we are playing more Premier Draft Tarkir Dragonstorm, and it's actually been a minute since I played. I think it's been like 4 or 5 days since I did a draft, which is not really that's pretty odd. That's unusual. For like so soon after a new set comes out, but I have been actually doing some other stuff, playing the Pokemon Nuzlocke over on stream of Emerald Sea Glass, which has been super fun. But we are still aiming to get a draft video out every day. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to jump into Tarkir Dragonstorm. I still feel like the format is pretty unsolved and still feels pretty early. So let's jump into a draft and see if we can get some work done. Okay, you'll have to forgive the background at the moment. I just got a new camera and we are at a new kind of angle and I'm figuring out what the background looks like. Anyway, so here we have got Mox Jasper is the rare. This unfortunately is like a no-go, but if we'd opened this in paper, it would have been super sweet. I can see Dragon's Prey being the pick. I can also see Mammoth Bellow being the pick. This card is really, really good. But of course, it is in like strong teamer. Like that does pretty much mean we're going to be forcing teamer. Sig Appraiser is great. Evolving Wilds is a good deck too. Yathan Road Watcher. 4 mana 3/3, mill 4 cards, reanimate something with mana value 3 or less. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I kind of think I am into just take the Mammoth Bellow here. I think it's just the best card in the pack, and I do think cheap removal is important. I'm not sure if that's right, but we are, I would say, rewarded here because there's a Sig Appraiser in this pack, which is fantastic, but there is also a Dragon Claw Strike. So I'm going to take that as a cheap piece of removal, and well, we'll see. We'll see if we can go down the teamer route. It's still too early to say. There's also a Fresh Start, which is great, but we are going to take Dragon Claw Strike, which is a pretty devastating removal spell if your opponent only has like one blocker. Now, Rediscover the Way draws a couple cards and then gives creatures double strike. And it's either that or like Snakeskin Veil. That's kind of it. I guess Embermouth Sentinel is something we could think about. But certainly, I mean, the best card in this pack is going to be Coordinated Maneuver, maybe Channel Dragonfire. I guess that's okay. And does go in the teamer deck and also in like a Mardu aggressive deck if that's what we end up doing. So I'm going to take the Channel Dragonfire here. Look, we did take a couple of teamer cards to begin with, but that does not mean that we're going to stick with that necessarily. So there's a Dragon's Prey in this pack, as well as Sagu Pummeler is pretty excellent. Common. Focus the Mind is great. Quarry Mountain Stalwart is very good. Yeah, so I do think some of these commons are good. Foundation Breaker is also very good. But is Foundation Breaker worth taking over Quarry Mountain Stalwart? I think Quarry Mountain Stalwart is a better card. I do think that is a better card. And you know what? The Jeskai deck is seeming open. I'm going to speculate, like, because I don't think, Formation Breaker, I don't think is that important or that good. And if we do end up doing, like, a more aggressive deck, then Quarry Mountain Stalwart is much better in that deck. Now, there's a Sandstep Citadel. Caustic Exhale is obviously great. Dalcoven Pack Beast is fantastic. And Twin Bolt's okay. Focus the Mind is good. I guess there's still a chance that we end up in Mardu, and it does seem like those Mardu colors are a little bit more open. And I do think that the Pack Beast is really strong. Okay, I think Pack Beast is the best card in that pack, and I think that's a pretty late Pack Beasts. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it there. Now I'm not so sure. Rebellious Strike is pretty good with like the 1/1s attacking. Nightblade Brigade is good though. 1 mana, 1/3, enter Surveil 3, and then like it always trades up. I actually have been pretty impressed by this card. I don't know what that makes us though. I guess I'm going to take the Rebellious Strike. I'm actually going to take the Rebellious Strike because it's better with the Corey Mountain Stalwart, and it is also good with the Dalkovan Pack Beasts. So certainly, yes, the Teamer stuff is drying up. That's not surprising at all, really. War Effort is an excellent card in the deck that I feel is open. Fortress Kingguard is just okay. Blossoming Sands, not really what we want to do. So none of these cards are that interesting, but War Effort is excellent. Now there's a Salt Road Pack Beast, Underfoot Underdogs, which is probably better with our War Effort. Yeah, I think Underfoot Underdogs is the pick here. There's another Nightblade Brigade, but 2 creatures that can just be unblockable and like give the Dalkovan Pack Beast. Well, it doesn't really need unblockable, but I'm going to take the Underfoot Underdogs here. I haven't actually drafted this deck yet, this sort of aggressive deck. But I'm gonna give it a go. So 4 mana, 2/3, Flying Vigilance, 1 target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. That does seem okay. Is that better than Dragonback Lancer? We could play the Jeskai Brushmaster, actually. We could end up being in like a red-white deck, splashing blue for some decent Jeskai cards. Now, Unsparing Boltcaster is actually very good with the Mobilize tokens, isn't it? So let's trim these. We've got a Channel Dragonfire. So some more cheap removal would be good. But and Boltcaster is kind of removal if we get enough enough Mobilize tokens. Coordinated Maneuver is pretty good in a Mobilized deck. Devoted Duelist, I'm not very impressed with. Poised Practitioner is okay, but I don't know if that's really what we want to do. We'll see. We'll see. There's a Lightfoot Technique. I'm not that interested in Lightfoot Technique, Poised Practitioner, or Meticulous Artisan. Yeah, I'm not that interested in these cards. There's a Mardu Siegebreaker. This is an excellent, excellent card. 4 mana, 4/4, Death Touch Haste. When it enters, you exile a creature you control, and then whenever it attacks, you make a copy of that creature. So if it has an ETB effect or a mobilize. Wait, does it trigger mobilize? Because you create a token that's a copy of the exiled card attacking the opponent. So the thing never actually attacks. So then it's better to just have like a something with an ETB effect, like Underfoot Underdogs. There's also a Flamehold Grappler, which is also quite good, but I'm going to... I think Mardu Siegebreaker is a little bit better. And if we get back Molten Exhale, of course, that's amazing. That's not very likely, though. I think I want to trim these cards for the moment. And I'm not sure about the Jeskai Brushmaster. Because I think we want to be pretty solidly red-white. And we'll splash black for the Siegebreaker. That's kind of what I have in mind. So, with that in mind, there's another Corey Mountain Stalwart. There's a Salt Road Pack Beast and a Zergo's Vanguard. So we're going to take the Vanguard because it's really good with Underfoot Underdogs. If you have like if you have just these 2 down and you give this unblockable and then you swing, that doesn't quite work. But if you can give this unblockable, then it can get bigger because it makes 1/1 tokens. So yeah, look, there's synergy there, okay? Trust me. Equipped creature gets +3/+0 whenever it attacks. Draw a card if you control 3 or more attacking creatures. Perfectly powerful. That is what we want. Okay, so what do I need? Mardu Devotee I would really like to pick up, and more removal is really important. We do have a couple of pieces of removal. Am I just supposed to take this Molten Exhale? Maybe. We have still got time, and I do think Storm Beacon Blade is pretty strong. I could do with more aggressive 2-drops, though. Could do with more aggressive early creatures. So we could take the Scoured Barons. I think Wayspeaker Bodyguard is okay. If we take the Scoured Barons, it does let us splash the Siegebreaker a little more easily. I think I'm going to do that. I don't really like having a tapped land. But I think Siegebreaker is worth tapping for. Worth, like, splashing for. Where this would be really good is on, like, Assault Road Pack Beast. Or a Tempest Hawk, if we had enough of them. Here, though, I'm pretty sure, like, Arishan Sunshield is very good. Kintree Severance is pretty excellent. This will, in our deck, just probably be a 4-mana exile target permanent with mana value 3 or greater. But I actually think Caustic Exhale might just be better because it's cheaper. And it's pretty nice with like the mobilized tokens as well. So I'm going to take Caustic Exhale on the splash. Now, Shock Brigade is pretty excellent. Yeah, that's a good aggressive 2-drop. Mobilize. That's exactly what we want. I would love to pick up 1 or 2 more of these. Twin Bolt here. I guess Reigning Victor. Like, this is potentially a 3-mana 3/3 mobilize 1. That's okay. It's just, like, fine. I'd say it's just okay. Don't think we're playing another Dragonclaw strike, although surprising to see one going so late. Another Shock Brigade is perfect. That's really good. There's a Sanskrit Outrider, which I wouldn't mind playing as well, but I am going to take another Shock Brigade here, and then I feel pretty good. Okay, interesting. I want Mardu Devotee here. I also want Molten Exhale. I believe I'm going to take the Exhale, because you can pick up the Devotee a lot more easily. Salt Road Pack Beast coming back is absolutely delicious. We're probably not splashing blue. And I don't like aggressive negotiations for this deck. If we're doing anything here, it is going to be the Dragonback Lancer, but I don't think that's particularly good. We are at 17 cards. We probably need, like, 7 more good cards out of pack 3. And I would like... I think I want 1 or 2 more pieces of removal. I don't know if this Quarry Mountain Stalwart is actually taking the... is actually making the cut here. Not sure Arishan Sunshield is really what we want to do. More of a defensive card. So that's certainly, like, something that I don't really want to play. We will get there on playables no matter what. That's important to note. So, Defibrillating Current. 4 damage to a creature. You gain 2 life. That seems pretty good. That does seem pretty good. I mean, everything else in this pack is pretty weak for us. Yeah, I think I'm just taking the Defibrillating Current here. I'm pretty happy with that. Decent removal spell in our colors. There's another Salt Road Pack Beast, a Molten Exhale. I could see taking another Salt Road Pack Beast. And actually, I guess the question is there anything else in the pack that I want? Don't really want Cruel Truths. Don't need anything else. So we'll take the pack beasts. Cut the Arashin Sun Shield. Stormbrood is good. Worthy Cost is good, especially because we're going to have all the mobilized tokens. But I wonder if Coordinated Maneuver is just better. And then we have like a good amount of removal. Is Salt Road Skirmish just better? 4 mana, destroy a creature, make 2 1/1s. Is that better than Coordinated Maneuver? Yes, it is. Yeah, okay. Let's take Salt Road Skirmish. But then, to be honest, okay. So now I feel like we need more black splashes, though. There's an Avenger of the Fallen for us, so, well, that is also worth playing black. So I think we're probably playing full-on 3 colors, more or less. Which is, like, slightly awkward. Slightly awkward. There's another Underfoot Underdogs versus third Salt Road Pack Beast. There's a Kintree Severance, which I don't think is what we want to do. I think I'm taking the Underfoot Underdogs here. And I think Corey Mountain Stalwart, well, maybe it gets cut. We'll see. But, like, we could do with, like, a couple more creatures. United Battlefront is, nothing. Teeming Dragonstorm is okay, but we don't have any dragons to go along with it. So I don't think I'm playing it as just a 4 mana make 2 2/2s. I mean, that's not bad. 1 mana 1/1, mobilize 1, and a removal spell. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, our deck's definitely open since we got that so late. So that is awesome. Okay, and so this is the deck. Anything we take now is going to be, you know, we're going to have to cut something. I can see cutting the Corey Mountain Stalwart and the Rebellious Strike for better cuts. Skyrider is actually great. So, yeah, I'm taking the Skyrider. Excuse me. Yeah, taking the Skyrider. And then I kind of think we might be cutting this Corey Mountain Stalwart. Nothing here in particular that I think we're going to play. I honestly, it might be another Unsparing Boltcaster. Because we are going to have so many mobilized tokens. I can see this thing really putting in work. Don't think we're playing any of these cards. There's another Shock Brigade, which we might play. So I'm going to cut the Rebellious Strike, bring in the Shock Brigade. And we do have a couple of cuts to make. There's another Dalkovan Pack Beast. That's crazy. Do we want the Worthy Cost instead? Nah, I like the Pack Beast. And I think I'm cutting the Corey Mountain Stalwart. Probably cutting the Reigning Victor as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if we got there on the splash, is my only concern. My only concern. We have, so our removal looks like this. We've got the 2 Boltcasters that we can consider removal as well. Only 1 card to cut. Although, in this deck, we can probably cut a land because it does top out at 4. But let's talk sources. Let's talk sources. We have Defibrillating Current as well. So the removal's looking really good. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black cards. And only the Scoured Barrens to help us splash. So not picking up any Mardu, devotees. is slightly problematic. Yeah. Yeah, slightly problematic. So what do I want to do then? I do think Avenger of the Fallen is worth splashing. I wonder if... I think we could probably play the Avenger of the Fallen and the Mardu Siegebreaker. I wonder if I'm supposed to trim some of the removal. Right now, we have 7 white sources, 6 black sources, and 7 red sources. I want to go 8 and 8. At least. Yeah, I do. Pretty uncomfortable. Because I actually... It's hard, but I think right now we have... yeah, we have 8, 8, and then like 2 black sources. Yeah, we didn't find the fixing. I should have prioritized the fixing a little bit more, for sure. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm supposed to cut the black, unfortunately. We can still play Defibrillating Current, but I do think that we just don't have the fixing to splash these powerful black cards. So what 3 cards... We do have the playables to bring in and just play a red-white deck, and I do think that will be better for us. Because we can bring in... Summit into... Oh, no, actually, we don't have the chicken anymore, so that's a little bit less good. But we can bring in Reigning Victor. But this is a 4-drop, 4 mana, 3/3 mobilize 1. Maybe I'd rather have the Summit Intimidator over that. I can see bringing in the Quarry Mountain Stalwart and like a Rebellious Strike and something else. Or bringing in the Teeming Dragonstorm. Although, no, it's just a 4 mana, make 2 2/2s. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Is this worth it as a 4 mana 3/3 mobilize 1? That is not very good. Even as a 3/3, it's just fine. So, we'll take the Summit Intimidator. We'll take the Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Tiny little bit of... I mean, maybe the Dragonback Lancer is just better than the Intimidator. 4 mana, 4/3 reach. Creature can't block. Or 4 mana, 3/3 flying, mobilize 1. I'm going to add it. We'll figure it out after. And then, I mean, are we playing Quarry Mountain Stalwart? If so, Lightfoot Technique is okay. Rebellious Strike is good. I think Rebellious Strike is good anyway. And I don't think I'm cutting a land because I really do want to curve out. So, this is not as... Yeah, it's not as exciting, but I do think it's more likely to be consistent. I'm just not sure about this Quarry Mountain Stalwart. Stalwart. How do I say this word? Stormbeacon Blade, I think, is worth playing. We have a nice high creature count and a good curve. But the Stalwart is a 3 mana 3/3, and if we cast 2 spells at any point, like if we cast 2 2-drops after that, then if it's a 3 mana 3/3 that, like, you know, drains 2. That probably is good enough. And then it does have the potential with the pack beasts to drain 2 in a future turn. So I'm going to keep it in. So then I think the cut is either Summit Intimidator or Dragonback Lancer. I'm going to cut the Intimidator. And then this is our deck. We do not need this swamp. And I think we are going... what is our split? Looks to me like we could do with a little bit more red. And we do have this red 1-drop. So I'm going to go up a mountain. And the Scoured Barrens, I think, is still worth playing because it makes the Defibrillating Current cheaper. Would I rather just skip out on having the tap land? I think I would. Okay, we're playing classic bad 8-9 mana base. But we'll see how it goes. Well, it's very important that we curve out. I think this is a keep. Especially with, like, I would love to draw a white source, but... could do with drawing a land. That's unfortunate. Hoping to put the opponent in a tricky spot here. Oh, come on. Land base immediately punishing us, but I feel a little bit unfairly. Like, come on. Yeah, this feels a bit unreasonable. Okay, well, that's that. One playable card in hand. We have to mulligan again. Okay, we have both of our colors. We have Stadium Headliner, which is pretty sweet. So I think... am I keeping the third land? Kind of think I can just keep the Rebellious Strike. Okay, Effigy hits me for 2. No problem. Effigy hits me for 2. No problem. This Pack Beast is going to be able to block the Effigy pretty effectively. Effigy hits me for 2. Now the pack, the Dalkovan pack beast is going to come down. And we have no attack for the moment. Not until we can keep Rebellious Strike up. There's the Dragon's Prey. Fair enough. Reasonable. Sure. I guess I'll just play out the Lancer here. Okay, Siege Breaker. I think I'm supposed to double block that. Otherwise, this kind of gets out of hand, right? Oh, hold on. I could have killed it next turn. I should have just taken it. Exhale. Do I want to just exhale this turn? Can I just take the 2? Want to exhale this and pass? That's not great. I think I'm going to play to the board. Because either way, I'm taking 2. If I take out the 2/3, then they just attack with the 1/1s and I take 4. This way, I still just take 4. Because they can't attack with the 1/1s. Yep, taking 4. Shock Brigade is not nothing. Guess I'm sending you. Okay, sure. So let's hold Rebellious Strike here to block the Fortress King Guard. Worthy cost over here, okay. So we're placing the block. Am I supposed to trade off with the Fleeting Effigy? What's doing more damage to me? I guess the Effigy is slightly scarier. And I can't Molten Exhale it. Current's a good draw. Gains us a little bit of life. Well, that's also all we can do. So if they, for some reason, can't answer this Pack Beast when it does come down, Kintry Nurturer is pretty good. That allows them to keep putting pressure on. And a Shock Brigade? Okay, they just had loads of gas. Still, drawing cards is nice. Wow. Okay, so I have to Molten Exhale there. And I have no attacks. They just cannot miss. Spell after spell after spell. That's a land, so we're taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we just have it. It's lethal next turn. Okay, I mean, I do think that's reasonable. I think our deck's good, but I think our mana base is not good enough, and so we didn't get to play our powerful cards. So I think we screwed up. Okay, into the loser's bracket. We still, I mean, we probably can keep this hand. Don't think it's great, though. feels slightly unreasonable. The amount, like the degree to which we're getting mana screwed is like, the 8-9 land base is not good, but that is 3 games in a row where we have just not drawn the colors that we need. If this is an Essence Scatter, then okay. Well, it wasn't a counterspell. Boltcaster is a 3/3. I can do nothing. Okay, that's actually very good. So that allows us to hold up a Rebellious Strike. Okay, drawing the white has put us in a much, much better spot. But the opponent has 5 cards in hand. All of their colors. What's this Anafenza doing? Oh, it's exiled. Defibrillating Current, okay. Sure. So we actually can double spell here, which is quite nice. Oh, we can't because we're strangled on white mana, of course. So who puts on the most pressure? I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that turn would have been a lot better if we just had another white source. They have to discard a non-land card to destroy the Corey Mountain Stalwart. They didn't. So they like everything in their hand. Okay. They probably should have just discarded this and dealt the 3 damage. So I want to equip this next turn, right? So let's get the pack beasts down. And then Storm Beacon Blade is pretty good next turn. Well, now I can't equip my equipment. What a joke, for fuck's sake. That is such a joke. Yeah, I now can't equip my equipment to anything, so it doesn't do anything. Okay. All right. Well, they can't double block both of these, so I am actually supposed to just send. Because they can only double block the pack beasts. And this does get in for quite a bit of damage. There's a 4/3. Unfortunately, nothing was dealt damage this turn. Deals 2 damage. Oh, hold on. I only have 5 mana left. Okay. That's for next turn then. And I think I'm actually supposed to take out the Clarion Conqueror. Narset is not scary at all, really. I take out the Clarion Conqueror, and then I can Storm Beacon Blade. But we're on 20 life. They have Narset. Choosing not to do anything with it. So, if they trade these off, I guess I should see where they trade first. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to deal 1 to the Clarion Conqueror. Play the Boltcaster. Now I do need to draw something. But they also don't really have anything going on. They have to discard a non-land here. Yeah, that was probably correct. They got a ton of rares, but none of them are actually that good. Okay, Rally the Monastery. 2 1/1s is not too scary. And there is a Boltcaster. So, yeah, I guess I'm just playing this out, ending the turn. We'll take 2. Shock Brigade is a good draw. What do I want to do? Do I want to actually tap my 6/3? I guess I don't really care. Yeah, let's tap you. Deal the damage over here. They didn't save it. Shock Brigade. Okay. Now the Storm Beacon Blade is very good. We just have to get an attack off. Don't think our opponent is really the aggressor here. Do I want that on top? I mean, they've done a really good job slowing me down here. but I think I actually do. Yeah. That's pretty devastating. Now, like, that Riverwalk technique was pretty backbreaking. I think we had to do it, though. But now we're taking so much damage, yeah. Okay, this has been a pretty miserable draft, huh? Yep. Molten Exhale does not save our life. Well, there you have it. We drafted Boros Aggro, but we got punished by our land base a little, well, quite a bit, 3 games in a row. And that is, yeah, like the typical 9-8 land base we know is bad. We know we needed to draft some fixing for it, and we failed to do so in favor of taking some other cards that perhaps were more powerful. We did not play 3 colors, which absolutely was the wise choice. Despite lowering the power level of our deck, we saw how inconsistent the deck was, even with just 2 colors. So it was absolutely right not to play those black spells as well. Still heavily punished. I do think probably more than you usually would be playing a 2-color deck with just a 9-8 mana base. I think we got we got color screwed 3 games in a row, and that's still pretty unfortunate, but it is important to pick up some fixing in your colors no matter what. You do, especially in like an aggressive deck, you do ideally want like 9 sources, maybe 10 sources of each of your colors to really make sure that you can curve out, even if that means playing tap lands, in my opinion. So, a hard lesson, but a lesson learned nevertheless. So we'll take that forward into our next draft the next time we see this kind of deck come together in Tarkir Dragonstorm. And that is it for now. So I will catch you on the next episode of Operation Double Mythic, which will be tomorrow. Goodbye for now. I'll see you then.